Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? Today's Wuthering Waves video is all about feedback. One thing we know is that Kuro listen and Kuro work on the feedback from their players. It is part of the reason why Wuthering Waves has become such an epic game compared to when it started. After some long hours of putting all thoughts, ideas and research together, the feedback in this video are only suggestions for more immersion and retention for new and the long-term players. With that being said, let me know your thoughts on this feedback and enjoy the video. The first topic is around resonators and specifically Resonator Mastery. This is an area meant to reward players for putting time into their characters and give them something to work towards specific for their character. At the moment, the only form of mastery per resonator is the intimacy level to unlock lore and a pay to achieve, and I say that with air quotes, mastery being the resonator title. Instead, it would be great and pretty cool if each resonator had an exclusive set of challenges that earn character-specific rewards that allow us to show off we have put in time for a character. Challenges that are not time-gated, like intimacy being tied to wave plates, which is time-limited, and you don't have to have an S6 character to obtain it. For example, a new tab on the character page with mastery challenges. These challenges can be something like defeat 2000 enemies, defeat 200 enemies while equipped with a common weapon, another 200 while equipped with an uncommon weapon, cook 5 specialty dishes, earn 30 stars from the Resonant Tower with the character in the team, earn 50,000 fantasy points with the character, earn 100,000 score in Whimpering Waves Infinite Torrents with the character on the team, and anything else you can really think of. These are obviously just examples. And so once a player has completed all these challenges, whatever they may be, they get character exclusive rewards such as an animated icon, some special VFX for the UI, maybe even the resonator background, and so on. This way creators and players feel rewarded for investing their time into the characters they enjoy, or we will just grind all characters because we enjoy the game. And this opens the opportunity to play the game for longer hours and you'll feel more accomplished with your resonator. Now before we talk about the UI effects and some UI changes that we really need, there is a bit more when it comes to character lore. As we know, gaining intimacy will unlock new pieces of lore and character interactions. Each resonator has 5 lore stories that unlock per intimacy level, with level 5 being the cap. One incredible change would be adding illustrations to the 5 lore stories for each character. Even if it's just an illustration for each paragraph or changing it into a manga comic book style, it would go a long way for the character itself. On screen, I'll throw some different examples and styles. In this way, when characters like Junshin's masters are mentioned, we can visualize what they look like. And if in the future they happen to make a physical appearance in game with changes, just update the illustration. Alright, I think that's enough about character feedback. Let's talk about the UI of Wuthering Waves. Now, I've seen a lot of comments about this, and it's to do with the essays that Kuro has been writing for character kits. And the main issue with these essays is not that they make kits complicated to read and understand, they just make it uncomfortable because of the estate it takes. Given that most players will be playing with a landscape screen, having it sectioned into a portrait that can read on average 6 words per line and scrolls for such a long distance, it is difficult to navigate keywords. And then you click on the keywords and another portrait box pops up with the exact same pattern while the rest of the screen is static or taking up the estate. The point is, I think, and I'm sure others would agree, that putting the exact same essay in a landscape format would be much better. And the next UI upgrade ties in with the rewards of the Resonator Mastery we spoke of earlier. Animated or stylized icons to be used for teammates when you've completed them, adding more visual cues to characters like Black Smoke when Choyuan's forte or liberation is ready, or something like highlighting character abilities with a backdrop when you've mastered them. All of these are to make the UI different but consistent through the many years of Wuthering Waves. Even something like highlighting the minimap in the same border as the character's liberation icon. Again, this is to add the immersion of the character's visuals. I'm not saying it isn't good as is, but this rather explores what are the possible ideas and options with a bit of reason and research behind it. Wuthering Waves is all about resonance and frequency, so why not let more elements of the screen resonate with the character and their forte? The next thing, because it is to do with UI, and that is a simple career tracker. Something that shows how many stars in total you've had in Tower of Adversity, how many enemies you've defeated, how many times you've been defeated, how many SSS ranks you've achieved in Infinite Torrents, and so on and so on. I think you get the point. There already are various trackers for achievements and stats during the anniversary program, so it would be rather cool to have something we can look at career-wise as a reflection of the time we invest. Alright, that's everything for UI. Let's talk about the gameplay. It's currently version 2.7, and we have a plethora of permanent events that originally had time-limited rewards. For new players, this is great as it gives them an opportunity to complete older content and not miss out on the fun. However, at the moment, these events become a one and done type of thing. So it's just going to build up eventually and exist in the game for years without any further purpose. The question that came to mind is how can we make players want to return to this older permanent content? The solution? A global merchant or trader. Lore-wise, it could be from the Pioneer Association or Lolo Logistics or some new startup company in game. Basically, this merchant or trader would take the currencies from these permanent game modes, like the coins from the Moonchase Festival or fish from the fishing events, and allow you to exchange those currencies for in-game items like echo skins, weapon skins, gliders, outfits, or resources. And the beauty of this is this trader can refresh or get new stock, which means you have to go fishing again or play an event again just to get more currency. And if we add a little bit of a time gate like 60 days to get these items, this will pressure the player to replay the game mode within a certain time before the rewards go away. I will admit there is kind of this type of merchant in some regions, but they don't use the currency of permanent events, they use local resources, and the rewards aren't the same. They're basically just a trader for random in-game items. Alright, and for those who like to play in co-op and enjoy the game with friends, this little next bit of feedback is for you. Ideally, emotes would be incredible to have, but it's a lot of work considering the clipping with different skins and monetization for such features. Instead, when you're in co-op mode, it would be cool if chat messages appeared above your friends' characters the way they do for NPCs. And to distinguish whether it's NPC or friend chat, just make the text blue. This way, emojis can be used to show reactions. Say now your friend wants to show you their build damage or something along those lines. Emojis are already something that's in the game and in the chat, so this is just adding to their value. And I mean, to implement this, it wouldn't be too difficult. For those who don't know, way back in the early days of CBT for Wuthering Waves, players could leave notes in the world similar to Elden Ring. That is all for this feedback. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you in the next video.